Though there are 124 playing cards in Calendra, there are only 6 unique abilities that might appear on any given card. There is a comprehensive list of these abilities found on the 6th page of the rulebook, but for this video, we will review each of the abilities individually, how they work, and which cards they appear on. We will begin with the Ancient. As stated on the card, the Ancient can act as any court member needed to end a round or a game. This means that when placed in the court row, the Ancient may act as the Count, the Countess, the Queen, the Beast, the Changeling, or as the Plague. In essence, the Ancient's special ability is that it can be used for any round-ending condition. Also, this ability only appears on the Ancient. The next ability we will discuss is the Swap. The Swap ability specifically states to take any card in play and replace it with the card that you are trying to play. The tricky thing about this particular ability is that it requires another card to already be in play for the ability to be used. Another interesting element of the swap is that it can be used against yourself or other players. You should keep this in mind if somebody is trying to plague you. There are 3 different cards that contain the swap ability. These are the Changeling, the Plague, and the Mist. As a special and important note here, the Mist only appears in the Ferric season. In each of the other regular seasons, the Mist is replaced with the Weather. And while we're on that topic, let us move on to the ability that appears on the Weather. This ability is the Anti-Plague, and it states that the card cannot be affected by the plague. This, in essence, has 2 different meanings behind it. First, it means that any card that contains the anti-plague symbol cannot be swapped with by the plague. Secondly, if another card in the row happens to be swapped with a plague, any card that contains the anti-plague symbol will not be affected by the score-changing ability on the plague. The anti-plague ability appears on the Weather, the Queen, and the Magician. The next ability that we will discuss is the Anti-Swap. This ability specifically states that the card in play cannot be swapped with the Plague or with the Changeling. As such, both the Plague and the Changeling are effectively useless in trying to steal a card that has Anti-Swap. It should be noted, however, that the Plague still has the impact of reducing the score of any card that does have the anti-swap symbol. An interesting loophole of the anti-swap ability is that it has no effect against the Mist. As a result, the Mist is the only way that you can obtain a card that has the anti-swap ability from another player unless this card is won in the round-ending swap. This ability appears on both the Warrior and the Archer. Our next ability appears on only the Beast. The text specifically reads, "Cannot be affected by the weather." This basically means that anytime a weather card is played in the same row as the Beast does not receive the multiplier bonus that comes from the weather. This brings us to our final ability, which is the score-changing ability. This ability comes in many shapes and forms, and it specifically modifies the value of individual cards. On the Count and Countess, this ability adds 1 point of value to the cards on either side of the Count or Countess. On the Plague, this ability reduces the value of the entire row that it is placed within to 0. In a similar sense, the Mist reduces the value of every card in the row by 1 point. And finally, the Weather, as we've already discussed, doubles the value of every card that appears in the row. The variety of ways that these different cards can impact the score of the game is designed specifically to keep you on your toes. I hope that this clarifies the abilities that appear on each of the individual cards of the game. Please stay tuned for our next video, where we discuss variations on the player count in Calendra.